to win this whole tournament.
Yeah, so Rabs is actually running possibly a slower deck than we saw in the previous match, where we have now Martell Banner Watch as opposed to Martell Banner Painted Table.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be slower, but it will be even more control style. Where Per, as he told us in the interview, like to have at least a little bit of an element of attack in his decks. I'm not expecting to see much of that in Rab's deck here, right?
See Rabs checking out those beautiful plot sleeves. Look at those.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, at least we're going to break at least one of the beard streaks going into this match. Because currently Even has one of the stronger beards in the field.
But he's playing on the beardless mat.
So one of those streaks will be broken. Comment in the chat and see who you think is going to take it away.
Is the beard on the mat stronger than the beard on Evan? That's really what this match is all about, right?
Yeah, realistically, it's the only true measure for the tournament itself. I mean, sure, there's some power totals and win-loss ratios.
But when it comes to statistics, the statistics of how well a beard is performing it's got to be the most significant statistic you're looking at. And so far, Evan and Rabs are both undefeated. And that is strong from a player like Rabs, who isn't actually bearded.
He is.
Oh, well, but not in, like, any measure.
Not in a spectacular way.
No. Not even close to the way we see from Evan.
My banner is better.
Well, yes, the beard cam
look at that.
does not
the
lie.
Beard cam does not lie. There's a significant difference here, right?
I don't know. I just didn't want to play the deck I played last.
Yeah, so the time is officially called. I have to say that is a
there is a
well-paired
beard there. It's a well-trimmed thing there, like my own, but it's not impressive in the way that you can say. I mean, Evan's beard is even though his face is not even close to the screen here, there's still some beard fuss.
It is an ethereal presence sneaking into the shot.
Yeah. I'd say this is a really interesting matchup.
So what are we most looking forward to seeing here?
Well, I mean, I think that Evan has all the tools in his deck to deal with a passive deck like this. I think that this might be extremely one-sided, this matchup.
Do you really think Even is choosing Greyjoy specifically to address the expected passive meta, or is he just trying something different after winning the UK Nationals with Targaryen?
I think that these Greyjoy decks are able to do both. They're really great against passive decks, but they are just as great against active decks. These decks have basically only, like, from what I've seen in testing, I think that the only matchup that is really tricky for these Greyjoy decks is the Targaryen matchups, right? And even that is not really a bad matchup. It's just a lot trickier. So I think right now the Greyjoy decks, as a meta call, they're probably one of the more reasonable ones to make, I think.
Yeah, and we've seen them do quite well across the entire tournament season.
Yeah.
I mean, Isian has absolutely crashed through the entire European meta.
Yeah, very much so.
We have the market being revealed as being in the deck. Is that an intimidation tactic or just slippery fingers?
I have to say intimidation, obviously. I mean, the market is such an intimidating card. Out of all the new economic locations, I'd say running the market is the one that most of all of them tells you that you are confident in your deck building.
It's because something we discussed with Even specifically yesterday evening.
Yeah.
And he was quite definite that it is the worst of the economy locations right now.
He was very clear on that thing, yeah. And he's still playing it. So we can see in Evan's hand here, he's got a save, he's got something else. And there, Rab's hand, he's got...
Mysterious Night's Watch person, veteran builder.
A veteran builder,
and Martell cards he's hiding from us.
Yeah. So small setups from both players, only 2 cards. No economy, really. Now, Victarion is probably the strongest card in the first turn that you can possibly see.
He really puts pressure on you in terms of shutting down your characters. So it's going to be up immediately. With both players getting no economy whatsoever, the Greyjoy start being able to kneel a location when it comes into play is going to be a significant impact.
Sure it is. Of course, the Martell decks are less vulnerable to the kneeling of your locations. Most of their locations are not, doesn't really care. Like Boneway doesn't care if you kneel it or not. So we're looking to get some adjustments of the hand cam for Rabs, so that
generally speaking, like we can see the right hand side hand pretty well, but the other one has eluded us for a good few matches. So we're seeing if that can be adjusted. So we see economy showing up in both players' hands at the moment. We've got Theon jumping out there for some unopposed. So if we do see the wall coming down, he should be quite relevant in the match.
For sure. So who's first player here? Do we know? No, they haven't
first
revealed
players, so
plot.
they
They
haven't
haven't
done
revealed plot. We're on to plots now. So what do you expect plot-wise here?
It looks like Even is actually contemplating counting copper straight from the off. He seems to be quite confident in Victarion.
And what is that? That's
What on
for
earth?
reserve plot from Rabs. Do you
What
recognize
is that
Altard?
from?
Do you recognize that?
I certainly do not.
It's got 4 reserve anyway, so I'm assuming it's got 2 claim. It looks like it's got 2 claim.
Could it be retaliation?
Or possibly...
Because I think it's 4 gold there.
You think 4 gold there? It could be retaliation. It could also... It would make sense, I guess, to play Famine. It's either of those two, I'd say. Looks like Evan's going first, which would be consistent with retaliation.
We have Euron in his hand.
Yeah, we do. But he has no way of playing such a...
But you got Theon coming
card.
down.
Theon and probably a
Great
Great
Hall.
Hall.
Although he can't really afford both.
Well, he can, because the Great Hall can reduce Theon.
But he's only
No,
getting 2
he's
gold.
only got 2 gold. So he can't. It's going to be Rose Road and...
He'd almost have to
nothing
think
else.
about taking the Great Hall and We Do Not So.
yeah, I guess. That could be it. Because he can't play a character at this
But that's
point.
where you really have to wonder, like considering he had the Rose Road in there.
Yeah.
It's quite ambitious actually putting the counting coppers down straight away.
Yeah, very ambitious. And without economy, wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Why not spend the gold on the Great Hall?
Yeah, I probably would. But Evan is not, and Evan might have the upper hand on us on that. We can see here.
There's
in
no
his
might
hand-
about it.
We can see in his hand that he's playing the new large Euron. No, sorry, large Balin.
So the camera
fast
adjustment-
Balin even.
Camera adjustment really seems to have worked for us here.
Yep. So we've got Ario in hand, and we've got Poison Dagger, and we've got that. Which one of the Night's Watch events is that one? Oh, it's Crastus Keep thing, killing things.
Discarding.
Discard, yeah.
Yeah, so for the moment, I believe that's condemned. That's gone on Victarion. So the power
Yeah.
is wide open, which really exposes Even from having
Yeah, this
gone
means,
first.
Yeah, this means that Evan can't. I mean, Evan can make a challenge, but I'm not sure that he wants to make a challenge. Maybe the green one, but that will only give him a power for Rabs to steal.
Because he wants to be able to defend himself.
Right.
Realistically, like with the 2 claim military coming down, Even is going to have to use his save on the Iron Islands Fishmonger.
Right. Yeah,
Give Rabs a chance to make a mistake, toss the military across.
perhaps. But with three characters there,
Yeah. If he lets it go unopposed, he kneels one of the military guys.
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
he has to save the Iron Islands Fishmonger
Yeah.
to save himself from Victarion being matched next turn.
Yeah. I don't know. Man. I think this is a tough call.
You still do the intrigue, like, look, you have to.
Of course.
Actually,
Well,
you don't, because,
no,
he's
it's
potentially
only-
looking at
yeah,
reserve.
Yeah, I don't think that's
You might need to do it just for unopposed power,
maybe.
because the
But
military is going to go unopposed as well.
Well, he's only going to lose that power anyway, because he's going to make a challenge with a blue. Rabs is definitely making a blue challenge.
But the military would also kind of need to go unopposed.
I guess. Sure. But he's got 2 claim, so that's just silly. I used not make challenges if I were Evan, because he's only going to be able to keep the power out of that anyway. He's going to have to save Victorian with the dupe and use the drowned thing to save the shipwright. So he's losing both his saves here in this plot. Yeah. Well, he did destroy some economy there. Not sure that it's worth it though.
I think with both of them so low on economy, it's actually not that bad. Because depending on what he's expecting, so far we've seen a lot of the characters that are inconsistent with an actual defensive Night's Watch deck.
Right. This might be a more aggressive style deck. Sure, that's right.
Because you have a whole bunch of military icons coming down.
Yeah. I don't know at this point. I mean, he's grabbing power for Rabs to steal.
And that is a very relevant discard. Like the Mutiny and Crasher's Keep.
That was really relevant. That was good. But I'd pass challenges at this point if I were Evan.
Why? He can't stop military anyway.
Well, because he doesn't want to have another power for Rabs to steal.
But he wants to throw the military across. The options then are Rabs either has to block it or he has to concede claim.
Well,
depending on whether or not he blocks it with somebody, he's also going to be
going
building
to
up power on Victorian.
Rabs is just going to leave it unopposed and kill
If he leaves
Will.
it unopposed, then you have the Intimidate coming through. You have the power going on Victorian, and you're that much closer to saving him again.
I am. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah.
And claiming Will, discarding a card from Evan's hand. And then, all right, so there's no... Okay, this turned out pretty well for Evan then.
So as long as this isn't the save, which is okay.
Yeah. And, no, but he gets to Intimidate now. So he gets
it's only Intimidate for 2. There's no... Both of them are 3 and 4 strength.
Only 2, yeah. Right. Shouldn't it... Yeah, should be only 2. Yeah.
So now the military swings across. He has to save the Fishmonger.
Yeah, he does. And he will. And then... Yeah. So that's Rabs already up to 3 power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Rabs, as you were saying, didn't just let it go through unopposed, because whichever one he intimidates, he's still able to swing with the other character.
Yeah, I don't really get this.
It would have put him 1 power ahead.
Yeah, he would have had to claim probably the better guy instead of claiming Will.
Yeah. But at the same time, having come from accounting coppers, even is coming out quite nicely from this turn, because Rabs still has no economy.
I'd say
Victorian is 1 power away from getting his inbuilt save.
Yep, Rabs has a lot less developed board at this point. Evan's got economy. He's got 2 characters, 2 good characters really.
Yep.
The Evan
He's got
is
relevant
behind
characters.
on power. He's behind on power, which might be significant.
And there's also the opportunity cost, because retaliation, Martell are able to do incredible damage with the plot when it comes down. So the fact that he's actually used it up to effectively use up one of his saves and a little more is pretty spectacular.
Right. You're right.
Because Rab's in a position where he cannot Valor now.
No.
He can't afford to just take 2 gold with no economy on the board.
No, correct, yeah.
And Victorian is going to be able to get to his 2nd power before any Valor happens.
Right. Yeah, no, this turned out really well for Evan. I might have misread that a bit.
Yeah, so just to update people on the giveaways, our next giveaway is not going to be a quiz. What we're going to have after this round is we are going to have a Who's That Player episode where you won't get to see the player. So the first person to correctly identify the player we will be interviewing will get prizes. What do we have going for them this time?
So we are going to give away some bell tokens. They're really nice. We showed them previously on stream. We'll probably show them again. So we're giving away 3 bell tokens for the new Targaryen attachment.
Excellent. So we have the building orders coming down.
Right.
And in this case, it really looks like Rabs is going to be digging for some economy. He needs to get to a position where he can contrast.
So he's picking Flea Bottom.
Well, he has discarded characters to reserve with retaliation, so it's effectively economy.
Right. And if he does grab the wall, he's got endless stand for that wall. which is.
But he
yeah.
can't afford the wall right now, just in
No,
terms of pure
no.
tempo.
Yeah.
The wall is out of reach for him.
No, I'm looking ahead here. Eventually, it might hit the table.
I have to say that it is a spectacularly well-traveled first player token from Even.
Yeah, it seems to have put out some games through its years. So Evan's got plenty of economy here.
So 7 gold before anything
Yeah.
else is played. We know he's got the Great Hall in hand, so he can go up to 8 gold for characters. So
Right.
the board is going to escalate quite dramatically now.
And we know he's got urine in hand, so that's probably what we'll see here. So Great Hall, reduction, and it's looking like urine there, right? And does he have a dupe for him?
There's a Varys.
No dupe for him. And
So let's see what comes from the other
pass
side.
Challenges over to Rabs.
So it's
And
the second
what is-
game we're seeing Pyromancers in play.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to play them now, right?
Look at that beautiful Rose Road, though. That was done by the Fracas lads,
There
was
it
it not?
is.
Yeah, I think so.
They have
And
that available as a
that's-
playmat as well on their website, I believe.
They do, maybe. I'm not sure. And he's got the poison dagger there. Might come into play to kill Victarion again.
The Venomous Blade would
Venomous-
probably come in to kill the
You know that Keenan
2-cost guy. So if he takes him out, he gives himself
power challenges, are you?
a valuable march. Okay, he didn't go with that. He decided to
No.
condemn Euron as well.
Yeah.
I think in that situation, I would have gone with taking out the location needler. So
Really?
that way, next turn, he's able to march either Euron or Victarion
Right.
for very little cost.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a good play, I guess.
Because right now, he does the military, which, he can't afford to go unopposed. And if he blocks it, then he doesn't have a military to throw back himself.
Right.
But Rabs seem to be playing a very rush deck. Like we've seen Condemned come out on both characters at this point. We've
He's-
got strong power characters on his side.
He's certainly looking to get that power challenge through. And that's why I think that's significant that he did manage to grab 3 power in that first turn. That might haunt Evan for the rest of the game. That he's a bit behind, actually.
But right now, like you do military with Victarion.
Right. Do you even... Did he... Yeah, he knelt flea bottom with the ship, right? So
Yeah.
he's making a green first with Euron, I can only assume.
Yeah.
That has to be. And picking up the economy that he grabbed from Rabs earlier.
Well, it's not a relevant economy because it only
No,
discounts
that's-
Martell characters. I think he'd be more hoping with something on Pillage.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, if he does. But otherwise, he's just getting... it was a reducer. It wasn't Rose Road.
Yeah. So here we have Wheels Within Wheels coming off the Reigns trigger.
Range trigger, yeah.
So is
he's
he
looking-
potentially looking for another We Do Not Sow?
Perhaps.
Nothing. A
Nothing.
miss on Wheels Within Wheels.
Yeah.
That is certainly something. I believe that's an achievement.
I think the achievement wasn't.
We have
for
Samuel
wheels
just checking that
in
now.
Wheels, but either way, that's really a bummer for Evan. He could have got something interesting there.
Yeah, he certainly seems displeased from the body
Yeah.
language.
Not sure
Yeah.
that's a fist bump,
I'd
but
say
yeah.
10 cards and
another
no
achievement.
relevant cards in there.
Then again, he has had a number of events in hand, like so. Depending on
Right,
how many
right.
he's running, like it's
Right. I can only assume he's running 3 of We Do Not Sow. He's probably running 3 of the saves, and he's or at least
if you
2.
have Wheels
2.
Within Wheels in your Reigns deck, would you put an Iron Price in there? I know it's not legal for this event, but that is certainly something Rabs wants to keep.
Yeah, that was a significant pull. Definitely. So yeah, that did count for achievements apparently, and he does grab the economy because why not?
Just pettiness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the intimidation factor of
Yeah,
having all those
course,
cards on your
of course,
side of the table.
of course.
I mean, at this point, you have a Martell deck facing a deck with 3 Martell cards on the other playmat.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
pretty legit.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a bit unfortunate, actually, to see Arya gone there,
Mm-hmm.
because now it gives him the option to sacrifice a veteran builder, stand flea bottom, drop Ario to stop
right.
Victarion coming
Yeah,
across.
yeah.
Victarion doesn't get his power. It gives him a good shot at a solid Valor next turn.
Right. But Arya Hota is almost certainly a one-off in this deck. You think?
Sure, but he's in the discard pile now.
Yeah, but then he'll be on the bottom of the pile. So he only got one trigger off of him instead of 2 triggers off of him. So I'd say that's fair enough, right? So we have exactly that play happening here.
But we have it happening on offense as opposed to defense.
Right. And that is a claim from Evan. And that means that Rabs is going to be able to Valor next turn and get...
Or March.
Or March. Sorry, yeah.
I mean,
not Valor. March, definitely March.
I think Valor might be a better play here.
Gets to keep one
if
character. Yeah, maybe.
The 2 gold will be quite tough for him.
Yeah, that's my thinking as well. And the no claim. He might be betting on Evan having depleted a bit of his hand because he did pull an early Balin for claim, and he did, and he already played Euron without duping him, and he's already seen a dupe from Victarion. So if I were Rabs, I'd definitely be thinking what big characters could Evan possibly be having in his hand.
Yeah, Rabs is really struggling with his hand though. Having only 2 cards in there, one of them Pyromancers is a tough situation.
Really,
so there we have that Fish Tank Valor. So
that is a Valor, and we also got
confiscation to stop one of those condemns coming back.
Yeah. So Evan's gonna have to go first, and is going to have to discard one of those confiscations.
It was really an unfortunate timing actually on his plays, because if he did the military with Victarion first, before Ario was discarded, he would have gotten the 2nd power.
Right.
So he kind of exposed himself here by taking the chance. Admittedly, it is a very long shot to count on that kind of thing, but he put himself into a situation where Ario was open to come in and make him lose the power.
It was not hidden information. This was available information too.
Well, there was no information about the Ario.
Well, you mean when he made the green challenge already?
All right, here we have the plots getting triggered in even choosing to go 2nd, I believe. It allowed Rabs to trigger his plot before the confiscation, so both the condemned came back to hand.
Yeah, right.
So right now, possibly a couple of mistakes from even.
I think so. But then again, I'm not the national champion, so we'll see. He's got the Reader in hand. Looks like a dupe for the Reader as well, which would be significant. More economy, and there are actually some dudes in the hand. He's got Cleftjaw, I think, to eventually take care of that. He's got Asher as well.
Well, Asher would be immense here.
Asher would be really nice here. Obviously, she'd lose that icon, power icon, but still.
Well, no, because Rabs passed. He went first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why Evan went second, because he didn't want to have.
He has the option to drop the Cleftjaw here, do the military challenge.
Right.
But the problem there is with Flea Bottom, he'll always have somebody to throw across.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. No, but Cleftjaw will destroy Flea Bottom, right?
Well, no, because the Flea Bottom could be used after the attacker declaration.
Yeah.
So he still gets the character across.
All right. Right.
And then has the option to either block Cleftjaw or even let go of Flea Bottom, kill Cleftjaw as well, and then you really have a whole pile of dead men building up in the Greyjoy.
Yeah, you're right. So what do you think Evan is going to play here? Is it going to be Little Theon and maybe Ashra?
He can't afford both. He's on 5 gold, 6 with the Great Hall discount, so it's actually pretty tough. I think the likely play is actually that he's going to go with the Duke Reader, which kind of sucks, but might be the only real choice here.
Makes most sense. And might buy him a turn or so, because he will get some draw from that, possibly. No, I mean, he won't get red. Cleftjaw is still the good choice. Because he's going second.
He would die to claim. Oh, and there's no claim because it's Valor.
Yeah, and he's going second as well.
That's strange.
Oh, that's odd. All right. So Builder, right back there, making it so he has got. I don't think Rabs have anything of significance in his discard pile, right?
Yeah, so
that's just a.
It's possibly he doesn't want to give him a good timing on the marched
Could be.
with
could be,
cleft jaw.
Could be. Could be. I'd still be tempted to just get rid of that.
And we see
flea
nastiness
bottom.
building up in hand there
Yeah.
because we saw the Southron Messenger
Yep.
combined with Condemned. So
Yeah. Yes. This
that's
is
going to be a
this
serious
is
pain
tricky.
for Asha.
This is tricky. Yeah. I think that Rabs is looking good here. Small claim, yeah.
Certainly a different deck, and that's interesting seeing the veteran builder leave to potentially bring somebody else in there.
Yep. Right.
So we have Theon going for power instead of military.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really trying to stem this hemorrhage of power across the board.
Yep. Yep. And he has to. Like I said, I think that it's very significant that Rabs is ahead on power. I do feel like Rabs is trying to rush this a little bit. And we got a big power plot here for Evan because he wants to have
Gold.
some of those big things hit the board now. And he's got plenty of gold now. He's got
Because he's already seen
12
the Valor actually
yeah,
be used up.
yeah,
So in
yeah.
effect, he's got time until it cycles back around again.
Right,
So
right.
he wants to flood the board right now and
Right.
crush Rabs.
Yeah, he has to do something about this board state, and he's starting to fall too much behind. If he can't turn it around this turn with the power grab, I think this is his last challenge. Because we're at 7-3 now.
Possibly, but you're also going to have the gold count, I suppose, is not that much different.
No.
Rabs doesn't play huge characters.
No.
That Southron Messenger could really wreck his day.
Yep.
Remove icon or only from
Remove from challenge.
So
Strange discard. We
discarding.
have another one in
Yeah.
hand.
I don't know.
So we
don't
have
know.
the Venomous Blade there, which is going to take care of Theon.
Most likely, yeah. And we have another Aria.
We have discounters. We have Ariane.
Yeah, and we've got.
And that's
Little
another.
Finger. No, that's still the Pyromancers.
But that's another Craster's Keep right there.
Yeah, it is. Which is.
So even dropping the big characters is going to have
Yeah.
a significant cost.
Yeah, this is. And obviously, Evan can't know that. But this might be tricky. So we see Rabs counting out some gold there. Playing Venomous Blade, killing Theon. Much
Does
as we...
even have a save?
I did not see one, but he might. No.
Nope.
No saves. So that's a dead Theon.
Those dead characters are really piling up.
Yeah. And we know those are almost exclusively 3-ofs in Evan's deck.
A marshaled Ario, that is surprising.
Yes, very much so. And he's keeping 2 gold. I can't think of any of the cards I saw that needs 2 gold, so he's using one of them for the builders, I think. Or is the builders hit the dead pile?
No,
Didn't they?
the
they were
builder
discarded.
discarded
It was
himself
discarded.
to stand
yeah,
free bottom
yeah,
for
right,
no effect.
Right. So here we get Littlefinger for draw, which is probably
Did
the right.
he draw a save off it?
That's the right call, though.
He did
it
not.
was the correct play.
To give himself a chance to draw it.
Yeah, that's definitely the right call. And then now he's looking at Cleftio or Asha, and he's got a dupe for Asha, so that's probably interesting. But he's going with the reader instead.
He's giving himself the option to trigger Reigns, but
Yeah, which makes sense. And he's reaching for some gold there. I can only
so
see
he had effectively 13 to 14 gold heading into the marshalling.
12 plus
So-
the reduction. 12 plus the reduction.
So he should still have 3 gold left after this.
Yes, he should have. And that's actually, like, Vindimer is actually relevant here.
Having no military, though,
Yeah.
is pretty horrifying.
No, well, yeah, of course, but he's got a dupe, so the military is not very significant. Here is the builder, obviously. It's going to make a challenge, and then you stand that flea bottom right back up.
The builder gives him such efficiency in terms
Yeah.
of power challenges.
Yeah, the
Because he can
builders.
come in, do the power challenge, stand flea bottom, bring
Yes.
somebody else in.
Yeah, the bouncy thing with Flea Bottom and veteran builders is just you can do it over and over again, and it's just very efficient. I think the only thing that is even close to that efficiency would be the Second Sons and Plaza and Flea Bottom. Now we have the blue challenge here. Do you block that? If you're
See,
Evan?
even becoming concerned, like looking at the amount of power that's piling up there.
Yeah, yeah.
It is so fast.
Yeah, I'd be hard tempted not to block this with the reader. Almost have to, right?
Because
There's a green coming though. Rabs is going to pull the veteran builders, stand flea bottom, and put another character in, and we have the top character there with the green icon. So yeah,
yeah, let's go unopposed.
yeah, because he wants to protect
Rabs is
that
on
hand.
10 power already.
Yeah, he wants to protect that hand, but this is what I talked about, because Rabs is closing in on actually being able to close this game next turn. He's close to that already. This is quite scary territory. So Evan makes a green challenge for 8 here, and it looks to me like Rabs is not defending this. So we get a draw from the reader. We do get a trigger from Reigns, possibly. Not sure if he's going to do that. Here we go.
Is there anything valuable for him there?
No. Yeah, he could, when revealed.
I think a riddle would be quite
riddle,
relevant.
and to be able to get Theon
back.
or Euron back. Yeah, that's definitely relevant. Very much so.
And draws a card right now.
Right. Yeah, he will get to draw a card. This is very relevant. All right. Did you happen to see what he drew?
Not yet, no.
No. And that's a really good pull as well. So
Okay, he's got the hand advantage.
Yeah, that
He's
turned out
way behind on
great.
power.
That did turn out pretty good for Evan, but
And
he's
it gives
so
him a 7
behind.
reserve coming out of the turn.
Yeah, but he's so behind on power.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, this guy is going to get Southron
Yeah.
messengered.
Yeah. So he is not out. Oh, all right. I would have.
Oh, he bounces.
But it stops the power challenge
Yeah.
for nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gives Rabs dominance, pushes him to 11.
Right. Yeah. Of course, makes sense.
This is a really exciting list from Rabs.
Yeah, Rabs is playing something, and Craster is grabbing the reader. Yeah, this is tense game. I think that Evan thought, just like you and me did, that this was going to be a passive deck from Rabs, and this is certainly not a passive deck. This is a very engaging deck from Rabs. I'm really surprised to see how much interesting interactions there are here.
Yeah.
I really like this deck. So what do you do? What would you play from Evan here? What is that? That's
What
marched.
on earth?
He's marching here,
Okay.
Wait.
which just brings the Venomous Blade right back.
Is he marching?
He
Why did you touch both characters? Oh, because it's yeah. He thought there was a riddle against that, whereas even
I'm not
hasn't
sure
actually
what's
picked the plot
happening.
yet.
But he did reveal marched, right? And
Yes, but there's a plot missing from even side. I think
Right.
even had to discard for reserve.
All right,
So
but
he was-
didn't Rabs already reveal
He seems
the
to have been
plot?
quite premature with the plot.
So Rabs.
Oh, they both played March. Okay, that makes more sense.
All right.
Okay. So maybe
Okay.
this is Even's plan now to actually build up a big board. Problem is, the veteran builder gives him a free power attack every turn.
Yeah. And he's already at 11.
No, I'm just counting.
I'm starting to think that Evan doesn't have anything in his deck that could really counter this.
Well, on the other hand, you have two Crashers have been played. Marsh has been played.
Right.
Valor has been
Right,
played.
right.
A lot of what he plays now will get to stick around for a while.
But it's not that long left of the game.
He has to try and balance out. Like, Rabs only has 6 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Admittedly, his entire discard pile is effectively in play.
Yes, and he's got Hota in the discard pile again. There's
Now, the
so
viewers are saying there's a newly made lord about to hit the table.
Doing full
You
bullshit
think?
now,
That could certainly turn it around with
if he could discard
Flea Bottom.
Flea Bottom at this point, that would be very significant.
Dagmar is another option, but Dagmar
It's slower.
is bad on tempo.
Yeah.
With Dagmar, because he'd actually have to spend the time to win the challenge
Yeah.
and can be triggered after the declaration of
Yeah,
attackers,
yeah.
that's not nearly as good.
I think Evan needs to put down Balin, and Balin's dead. No, Balin's not dead.
Balin was discarded.
He was discarded. So Balin, but he's going for Euron instead because Euron has a dupe, right? No, he does not have
You
a
have
dupe. That's
an
Asha.
Asha dupe.
Asha dupe. But Rabs still have those confiscation in hand, right?
You also have Ario, who's after being marched,
Yeah.
so that one will be coming back
Yeah.
to bounce whomever from the challenge.
Yes.
So perhaps Balon is the right choice here.
I think Balin needs to hit the table because he's fast enough to
but
actually
he can't
do something.
really afford Balon and somebody else.
All right, he's got 2 great hauls. He's got 5 coins left. That's 4.
So it's
3.
9 gold effectively. That is a brutal discard pile.
Yes, and there's something really relevant in there as well. Arya Hota.
So it's 1 for the discounter.
Yes.
He's actually playing Victarian's ship. That's quite unusual.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't often see it. And double reduction.
And here we have
so-
the ever so balanced Euron for 2 gold.
Yeah. But I think Euron is less relevant than Balin would have been in this case. I would have rather played Euron. Balin. I think Balin has more options.
Because even if Balon gets bounced from a
Yeah.
challenge by Ario,
Yeah.
he's still available himself to defend the...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't agree with this play from Evan. So we get another builder, because why not? And why is Flea Bottom being knelt already?
You can bounce in Mr.
Why is Flea
Bounce.
Bottom already knelt? Do we know?
No, I think that's actually the start of challenges. I don't think Rabs actually marshaled anything.
Oh, he marshaled nothing and just
At least the
put that out there. So Evan is looking whether or not to block
So this
this
is-
challenge, right?
Rabs' challenges because he needs the 2 gold for the
Yeah,
veteran builder.
Yeah.
soul destroyer.
He doesn't, right?
I don't know.
But if he doesn't, then that's 2 more power for Rabs.
Yeah, he's got to put something in here, right? He's got to at least oppose if he's not blocking.
You have here. You have him as the prime suspect.
This is brutal.
This is really, really brutal.
and incredibly unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least
sure it's
because
gonna
we
go
have
that
not
far.
seen Rabs' deck perform before.
But even in terms of having seen the...
Yeah, this is the correct
There's
call,
a
I think,
meta.
from Evan. I think Evan has to do this.
So he throws Euron in there. If
Yeah.
he gets bounced by...
Yeah, he does. Obviously, he does. But it's a 0 challenge now, so there's no... Euron doesn't get any...
And it gives him a
Renown.
chance to do his own unopposed power.
Yeah.
So it keeps him in the game.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is the correct call from Evan anyway. Even though this happened,
And Rabs is going to be taking dominance, which is kind of a big deal right now.
it is, because that will keep Rabs at 13, right? Oh, sorry, 12.
On the other hand, this is the second Ario gone away. So the Ario threat being removed,
Didn't he have
It's a
2
big
in the
deal.
discard pile? I thought I saw
1
2.
already went away from Flea Bottom.
Yeah, but I thought when Evan checked the discard pile, that I thought
Can't have been.
I think he might have discarded an extra, and he had 3 in there. But I might have seen that. All right, so at least now
12 power to 5.
Evan does have a board. Evan does have a board, and yeah,
Rise of the Kraken.
yeah,
Getting that power across the table. Okay.
and a marched.
But the difficulty here is if he goes first, we know Ram still has 2 condemned in hand.
Yeah.
So he can't even afford to drop Euron.
But Balin has to.
He can't afford to drop Balon. Because if he drops Balon, he loses his power icon, as does Euron, and then he just concedes the unopposed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. But what else can you do?
He almost has to drop Dagmar here.
But why is Dagmar better than Euron?
Because
Balin.
Dagmar will take away Flea Bottom. So the Flea Bottom would have to be used before
Boom.
Right, right,
Dagmar's attack completes.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's
This is exactly what he doesn't want to see here. Cheap characters
Yeah,
that
that can
will
block.
be available to do the unopposed challenges.
Yeah. This is looking really heavy for Evan, and he has very few answers, and
Oh, no.
and that is the
So this is perhaps the first time ever on a stream somebody's gone second with the Rise of the Kraken, I believe.
yeah yeah. But
My memory's shit.
So what do we have in the discard pile?
So you
we
got
have
So there's no Ario in there.
no Ario.
Knowing
That's
why my
good, I suppose. We have a
There's
builder.
no Southron Messenger. So
We have the builder, and we have those that gets force. No, he's got no rangers on board, so that's insignificant. He can't put that out.
So it is relatively innocuous. I mean, it's still
It's just a
incredibly
builder.
frustrating.
It's just a builder. That's really relevant in that. That's the only relevant card. Still,
So what does
I mean,
Even go with?
Evan doesn't have any power icons on the table as of now.
Okay, the
so-
strength boost is nice.
and that's Cleft
As I
Jaw.
said, the Dagmar
like you
had
said,
to be
Dagmar
moved.
is out. Yeah, this is his Marshall. He can't. He has to block the blue though. He can't let Rabs get an unopposed blue, can he? And he's
Lives
only,
dangerously.
and Dagmar is the only blue icon he's got. That would put Rabs at 14, and then the green has to be blocked.
And Dagmar has to be attacking.
Yeah, Dagmar has to be attacking to trigger. So Dagmar will almost certainly have to. Well, I think Evan is in such a tricky position here. I'm not sure I can see many outs for him here.
Because he has to block both. He has to block at least two of the challenges. Because the veteran builder will discard himself to allow Flea Bottom to put in a military icon.
No,
So-
there's no military icon he can put in because the ranger needs another ranger to stay on the board.
Isn't Will still there?
No, Will's. Oh, Will is in the discard
Yeah,
pile, maybe.
sure.
No, Will was claimed. Will was claimed in the first round.
Okay.
So the only military icon he had in the discard pile that he could put in with Flea Bottom was the one that needs another ranger to stick on the board, I think. The Lost Ranger, I think it's called. So
Because thing is, Even could actually stabilize here. If he gets the Flea Bottom on his side of the table.
Right, because he could start bouncing in. So he'd block with Dagmar this. No, he can't. He has to leave this blue challenge unopposed then, right?
Then block the Intrigue with Euron.
Yes.
Then swing across for
Oh, but
power with Dagmar.
How would he, if he blocks the intrigue with Euron, how would he be able to pick up the Flea Bottom?
With Dagmar swinging across.
But Dagmar
power.
doesn't take it, does it? It just discards it, right? No, take control. Dagmar takes control of it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's actually, and then he can have the blue challenge from.
So then he takes 2 power off the blue challenge. He takes the Flea Bottom. Fair enough, he's still behind against something like 12, 13 power.
What
but Rabs'
does-
deck is neutralized.
But what does Evan has in his own discard pile that could be relevant? Does he?
It
have
doesn't
a
matter,
mil-
as long as the Flea
No,
Bottom is
I
off the
get, I
board.
get that, but does he have a military icon and he can get a unopposed military back as well? Then we're really looking at something.
This is a tough decision.
Yeah,
And a hell of a
Right.
game to actually watch.
yeah, this is really exciting. I mean, Evan is still on only 5 power.
I think he has to let the power go unopposed.
He kind of has to, doesn't he? Because he needs to be able to trigger Dagmar.
Then block Intrigue.
Yeah.
Then swing across for power with Dagmar.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this is what has to happen here.
I think I'm starting to agree with you, as silly as it sounds.
And we can see that the
Dagmar
excitement
will
from the
not
game is
be-
building up. We're up to 48 viewers now.
Yeah.
I'd say a large part of this might be the Americans.
Yeah, maybe they're starting to wake up on the other side of the
But
Atlantic.
I still suspect he's got a military icon of some sort in the discard pile.
Yeah, he might. He might. I'm trying to rack my brain to what it could be because he doesn't have. That Theon is dead, right? So he is
Nightmares on
blanking-
Flea Bottom.
Right, but that will stick when he's. That means he doesn't have anything himself.
But what he has to let this go unopposed. You have to. Do it. Do it even. No, do not block that power. What are you doing? Take your hand off the card. No, even don't do it. You can't.
Oh.
You have to get him across the table. You have to take away the flea bottom.
He blanks it instead and hopes to get unopposed, I suppose. This is the wrong move, I think.
But unopposed what? He can't do unopposed
Yeah,
power.
no, this is the wrong move. Frustrating. Very frustrating. This way, he will get only one unopposed challenge with Urine, and possibly not even that, because he might choose to block the green as well.
Surely he has the green across.
He does not. He wants...
But this puts so much pressure on him to then discard cards.
Yes.
To then just have to block characters.
I don't agree with this play at all. I do not agree with this play
Yeah,
at
I
all.
think I like that suggestion from the stream is let this one go unopposed,
Right.
then Reigns across, stand Dagmar,
How do you stand, Dagmar?
power behind the throne.
Oh, right. Yes. That I like that play. I do like that play.
And that'll be 2 intrigue claim.
Yeah.
That'll be the 2 power claim.
He's got a boat, so he can actually defend with Urine and
Then
trigger
defensive
Reigns.
trigger Reigns.
And defensively trigger Reigns. So that's
But
that's
why not let him
acceptable.
have the 1 power?
Because he'll still get a power himself. This is
Power,
fine. This
power,
is fine.
power,
This is fine.
power.
This is fine. Yes. So this is fine. He should get renown on Urine, right?
Yeah, he forgot that
No.
earlier in the game, but
Yeah.
the stakes are that much higher now.
Yes, the stakes are very high now. So this is fine. Now he can still grab Fleabottom, but Fleabottom is still...
So he drags Rabs down to 10 power.
yeah, but
if he does the power
Fleabottom
cross.
is night mad already.
Would you do military here? Well, he still gets it across to his side.
No, power all the way. Power.
Why not do military? Because he can't afford to get the veteran builder killed. He gets 2 characters off the board.
But he'll just... No, 2? All right, yeah.
Claim 2.
Right.
Oh, no, we're down to claim 1 now
But it's
because of
gotta
the power
be
behind
power.
the throne.
It has to be power, right?
Yeah, it has to be power with the 1 claim.
Yeah. Because it's 1 power. It's 1
I think
power.
there was a misplay there because, yeah, they just realized that it's only a single claim.
Yeah. And he...
So he lets the... He triggers that flea bottom.
Yeah.
So I think
and that's
even is actually stabilized.
No, but that's instead of claim. That
Yeah.
one is instead of claim.
It doesn't matter because the guy was going to be discarded anyway.
yeah.
And now he doesn't have a flea bottom to come back with. I think
Right. Yeah, this...
I think he even stabilized.
Well, he's stabilized at 6 to 12 power.
6-13 with dominance now. And 8-13.
Yeah.
But
8?
Rabs' decks...
8? Oh, yeah, 2 renown as well. 8 to 13.
He's forgotten renown again. There should be another renown on Dagmar.
Right. And that's Valor. How unfortunate. He must have known that.
Is that Nymeria in Rabs' hand?
It could be. But,
Ugh.
Sorry, you're on dead again.
yeah. And that's why you would have wanted to go the
And
way
he still hasn't seen another save.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
that's brutal.
Euron dies
So
again.
now it's really 13 to 6.
Yeah, very sad to see.
Does he have anything in his discard pile worth bouncing out? Did we see from that quick flip by Rabs?
He can still afford Balon now.
Balon has to be it, right? Or maybe Asher, But doesn't Rabs still have one of those power removing attachments?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So is this Asher or is it Balon? It looks like Asher, doesn't it? Because she's got a dupe. So that's Asher.
But once
with
she
a
loses
dupe.
the power icon, that's game.
Yeah. But I think Evan might have forgot that. And that's a blue icon on her.
No, that is an intrigue for him.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
important part
Sorry,
there
green icon. I missed.
is that with the ship, he can
Yeah.
now trigger Reigns,
Yeah.
and he can get himself out
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he's able to
Yeah.
kneel Rabs' power icon.
Right. Oh.
Well, that sucks.
So,
Another Ario in hand. Ugh.
yeah. What happened there? He just pulled her back, right? Namira's...
Rabs has the option to ambush in Ario if he wants to. So he could just stop Asha cold claim the one power and have
Right.
the one gold back for dominance. I think this is where
Yeah.
Rabs has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what she attacks with. Ario bounces in, takes her out. He's got one gold remaining.
Yeah.
He attacks military for
But-
unopposed,
oh, well,
and
well,
he
well.
takes.
If
Even
Evan
has no gold.
If Evan has no gold,
Yeah,
all right. Okay, that's
he has to skip attacks.
yeah, but he doesn't know there's another Hota in hand.
He has
How-
to
how
skip
could he-
attacks or he loses.
How could he know that there's a Hota in hand here? He can't know.
But
He's already seen 2 go onto the bottom of the deck.
And that's game.
Yeah, that's game.
My God.
All right.
and
Yeah.
for viewers in the chat, this is round 3 of the tournament. So Rabs remains
Undefeated.
number 1 seed.
Yeah,
Nothing.
undefeated.
Yeah, there's so
Evan
many events in
that
here.
did beat in round 2. Evan beat.
No, that was
And Rabs gives us the finger.
No, and
I don't know why, but
got so many
apparently that's what he felt like.
lords,
Well,
Yeah,
so
obviously
Tomas
Price had the Venom
has
blade.
one
But I
loss
wasn't
to
expecting you to
Evan,
play that. I was
and
like,
now
no,
Evan
no.
lost,
Yeah, no,
which
they weren't
makes Tomas's strength of schedule a bit weaker.
Because we had a look at the actual qualifications earlier.
Right.
So going into top 8, realistically, there's going to be 1, maybe 2 4-2s that are going to make
Right,
it.
right. So you need to have good strength of schedule, and this is looking good, obviously for Rabs, but it does significantly weakens even Tomas's claim to be in that, which is interesting since he's the defending champion.
Okay, I'm going to go see if I can grab an interesting player for us.
All right.
For who's that player?
And,
And we'll see if we can give away those bell tokens.
Right, right.
Did you have a second one in hand? No, you just, yeah.
So
No,
we
you
will
got-
be
no,
back
no.
in
I have 3 of them, but
a few
I-
minutes time.
Well, that was. I thought I was gonna lose because Grey is the worst matchup for me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was just one of those. In my last game, I got everything I needed against Thanos, and now I didn't. So I should probably not use the We Do Not So, but I thought I can always.
For
find another-
economy,
Yeah.
you should, because my deck needs economy.
Yeah, and you had none, but it was like, it's just a grove, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, the guy I played before, he played 2 nightmares too early,
Yeah.
and it cost him the game.
Yeah.
But he had to play them.
Yeah, no, you don't react it.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's over. I won.
You won.
Yeah. I'm on strike.
You lost. You fisted on the wheels. Sorry.
Hey.
Yeah. On the wheels.
Didn't I had an achievement? He won against Tamas, but I won against him.
Against him. Yeah, and I didn't see any newly made lords.
You're the Lord.
That was all I wanted in life was a newly made lord.
Newly made lord.
You didn't even get that. I didn't even get.
Even a shipwright.
We're back on. All right, guys.
Here we are.
What?
Yes.
Okay, we have to set that again.
All right.
'cause,
So we're back on.
you put the camera on.
Yeah. You shouldn't.
Okay. No.
No. All right. I'll turn the camera back off then.
Because people just recognize the player. What are you doing?
Wasn't that the idea?
Well, no, because we interview the player and they have to guess who it is. Who was
All right.
talking to them.
Sorry.
Okay, we get somebody else. Apologies.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, guys, we're back with our planned giveaway. So we had small technical difficulties in the first attempt at it. So this is our mystery Who's That Player segment. So we have with us a very prominent member of the community. And we're going to see now for the first player in the chat to actually guess who that player is. We have the set of bell tokens that we had on the stream earlier. So how's your tournament going so far?
So. It's been some ups, some downs. Last one was up, so I'm happy.
And have you been active in many tournaments recently?
No, I would not say many.
So you're kind of joining the Swedish meta in being quite subtle, quite secretive.
Yes.
So you did have some significant wins earlier, or actually you did well, at least in some local tournaments earlier in the season. What would you say is your best tournament for this season this year?
For this year, I don't know. I had some local store championship maybe in the spring. I don't really remember, actually.
As far as I can remember, you did quite well in some local championships.
Are you active much in the face-based groups for Game of Thrones?
And a bit, yeah.
So what has been
for certain topics?
What has been your favorite thread recently?
My favorite thread recently. I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't think I've checked recently, actually.
So even though you might not be the most prolific in terms of wins or tournament results, you are somewhat one of the more famous Swedish players out there for other reasons, so to speak. Do you get a lot of, do people get in touch with you and talk to you about
your contribution to the community?
Yeah, well, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of positive feedback and so on?
I do, yeah. That's great.
Yeah?
I do get a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
And for the tournament today, is there anything about your deck that's working particularly well?
So I think we have a
Yeah,
winner.
we
here.
have a winner.
All
We have a
right.
winner in the chat here.
We're interviewing the famous Petter Nystrom and the creator of Jousting Pavilion. So it's always a pleasure to see him here and be available for tech support. So we're going to turn the camera on now so everybody can say hello to Petter.
So
Hello, where's the camera? I don't even know.
Here, the camera.
Oh, there's the camera. Hey, hello.
All right. So, Petter, now we can talk more plainly.
Yeah.
What is your thought process that for future on the Jousting Pavilion, are there anything that you're planning ahead on here? Is there anything coming up?
Well, I think they've been revealed like 3 bugs just today,
Yeah.
so I should fix those.
All right.
Other than that, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of work on Jousting Pavilion. I would love to, but there just isn't the time.
No.
A common request has been to expand the Jousting Pavilion to other games mostly, to support the melee tournaments, and Legend of the Five Rings has been mentioned several times as well.
Are you potentially looking into that? Are you planning to play the games yourself?
No, probably not playing them, but it would be great to if I could make it easier to support other games, that would be fun. But it's still quite far off, I think.
So earlier this year, we had a sort of a sister site in the Isle of Ravens going online.
Yeah.
But they have been having some troubles lately with a lot of bugs in their script. Are you actively working with them, or is it just that they grab stats off of the pavilion?
Yeah, I'm not actively working with them. I just had some brief discussions with them in initial phases to accommodate their requests for what they wanted to get, such things. But no, I don't know what's going on there.
All right, because it's a pity. That was a really fun thing.
Yeah, it was.
We do have the stats side of the Jousting Pavilion also being rolled out almost simultaneously. Have you got any feedback on those new introductions to the Jousting Pavilion?
Not really. I mean, the stats is more of comes in second place, I think, for the Jousting Pavilion. Much and more could be done there. But there has always been other sites like the Annals of the Castle Black has done that thing before, and then the Isle of Ravens came along and did more of the player-specific stats. So I haven't been focusing on that.
No. Do you get a lot of requests for features and things to happen to the pavilion?
A bit, not too much. I usually just reply that, yeah, that would be good. I don't have the time.
Very diplomatic.
And then I make some vague promises. Yeah, maybe I should release the code so someone else can help. And but that takes time as well. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to be heading to Stalek? Is there going to be many people who are going to give you printouts of their tournament victories to sign?
Yeah, not this year, unfortunately. I will be missing out this year.
All right.
Okay, it's going to be a great loss. But we won't take up too much of your time because I'd say the pairings are going to be going up now. So thank you so much for being part of our giveaway.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Same to you.
So we will be putting you on the timer back again, and then we will return shortly. and then.
On the bird. Yeah, like.
All right, so we're back again here. We've got Rabs, the winner of the previous game. That was some exciting playing going on there.
Not that much.
Well, I mean,
I have to say, as a spectator, like that is one of the
that
better
was
matches.
really,
Okay.
really. I mean,
Honestly.
even though the power was looking very one-sided throughout
Yeah.
the game, the board state was constantly being contested.
Yeah.
Evan was completely. He was always on the verge to getting back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or just locking down the board state.
Yeah.
How
Logging. Yeah.
How happy were you to see that We Do Not Sow in your economy turn 1?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, finally. It was okay because my deck needs economy, and if it chokes me, I'm in big trouble. But the card that saved me the game was Veteran Builder. He's fucking nuts, with flea bottom. Restricted, please.
Yeah.
That was incredible, actually, use of it, because pretty much everybody is looking at Veteran Builder with the wall with Flea Bottom, but you're just using him purely for the challenge efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
You
is
have-
great efficiency.
You have a free chat doing power challenges,
Yeah.
and then getting someone back.
So, I mean, how does your deck perform when you can't get your flea bottom to work?
Well, not that great, but I can lock the game since I have Condemn
Yeah.
and Nymeria,
So
and I have
you-
double march
so
and
you pretty
mutiny,
much
so
stall
yeah.
Through it.
I stole the game.
Yeah. And that's your way through till
Yeah.
you see the flea bottom or
It's-
get it to work again.
Pretty wonderful, because we've seen decks like that, and it's something that people often underestimate. People focus too much on trying to build a board state or shut down an opponent's board state, but ultimately the blue challenge is the only one that matters.
Yeah, it's the only one that matters, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we've seen that even going back to the first Battaglia, where you've had some of the Polish players who got wiped off the board but were just able to keep winning the power challenge
Yeah.
and still get the game. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans in terms of finding these kind of deck building challenges? Because everybody's locked into the mindset that saying, look, there's only a couple of decks that can exist in the game, and then something like yours comes out.
Yeah, flea bottom is a fucking huge problem. So we'll see if they do something with it. If not, the game's gonna be screwed forever.
Well, I mean, there are ways to control flea bottom. You've got several options.
Yeah.
But they should expand options to control.
Yeah, we need more
locations.
location hate. Yeah. I was afraid of Newly Made Lord, but he didn't draw it, so I was like, yeah. Big shout outs to my Spanish meta
Yeah.
and to everyone who's following me.
Yeah, we've had over 40 viewers that match.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So I think.
Hope you learned the lesson.
Now people seen it in action. Maybe people will be careful with what
They should,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. This is it's a strong combination, and it's really interesting to see.
Just play broken cards.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not,
Wouldn't
yeah.
you?
But
As long
it's
as
been a
they're
really
alive.
fun match to watch. So thanks for being on stream, and
you're welcome.
we'll let you grab a break before
Yeah.
the next round.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, we somewhat missed the announcements there. I believe the plan is, while we still have some good light outside, to do a group photo of everyone at the event. So we will probably look to pop out for that. So
Right.
we're going to throw up another waiting screen. I think we should update the news ticker as well.
Yeah. So
Just to keep people completely abreast of everything that's happening in the Thrones world. So if you give us a second, we'll get that set up, and then we'll be back to you in about 10 minutes.